Honey, we should try other ways of having children, like getting a surrogate or through adoption. I told my husband while we were having breakfast. I want kids of my own. You should bear my kids, Mabel. But we have tried for the past 2 years. I have no underlying medical issues, and you know that. I unlocked my phone and showed him my medical records. My name is Mabel. I'm 30 years old and a professional chef. I have been married to Noah for 2 years. We have been trying for children, but we're not lucky. I have done tests and gone to hospitals, and I don't have any medical problems.
So you mean I'm the problem? Wait, my parents are coming over tomorrow. We will discuss this issue with them.
I asked my husband why we should involve his parents in such an affair. You know that this is an issue involving us, right?
My parents want us to get a divorce, since you show no signs of bearing me an heir. They will be bringing our divorce papers.
I was so shocked to hear that we would be getting divorced.
We will be getting divorced, Mabel.
Noah left the house and slammed the door, leaving me shattered. I could not believe that the man I had married could think of divorce after only 3 years of marriage. He wants to divorce me? I'm nothing but a baby-making machine for his family? Does he even love me? I questioned myself as I cried till I fell asleep on the cold floor. Early the next day, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law came to our house. I was expecting them. As soon as they got in, my mother-in-law started talking.
Hey, Mabel, my son should have an heir, and I think you're doing a bad job giving him one. We mostly want a son. He will run the company after his dad.
I wondered why they were accusing me of not wanting to get pregnant. They were adamant that I was the problem. If only they knew.
Look here, girl. I don't have time for your stupid games.
I didn't expect her to talk to me like this.
Sorry, Mabel, but I think my son made a mistake marrying you. Dad,
you're talking back to your father?
Okay, I'll be quiet.
I saw a brown envelope on the table. I knew what was inside, but asked to be sure.
So you expected this, huh? You really wanted to divorce my son beforehand?
Only I know how much I love Noah. I have done a lot of things to prove my love for him.
But giving birth to my children is where you draw the line.
I wiped my tears. I couldn't take the accusations anymore. I told Noah that we both knew that I was not sabotaging his plans to have children.
Shut up, woman. I don't love you anymore. If I don't love you, why should I stick with you? There is no reason for us to be together.
My mother-in-law smiled when she heard that. I knew I was now on my own.
Mabel, you have to sign these papers. Divorce my son and go away. I already have a girl who Noah can marry. Don't even think about asking for money. You already signed a prenup.
I didn't remember signing a prenuptial agreement. It must be that they tricked me. I looked at Noah, waiting for clarification. What he said proved that I was taken for a fool.
A week before we got married, we got drunk, and you asked for a way to prove your love. And I gave you the papers. You were drunk, but signed them.
My mother-in-law showed the divorce papers at me and said I should sign them. I couldn't stop my tears. All that ran through my mind was betrayal. I signed the divorce papers and went to the garden. I am no longer married. I have been betrayed. They're kicking me out of the house, and I only have 1 week to move out. After 2 days, I found an apartment to move into. I was grateful that I was still working. The pay I got from my job as a chef was good. I could sustain myself with no difficulties. I was dragging my suitcase when I bumped into Noah and another woman in the sitting room. Noah, I can't believe you already bought another woman here while I'm still in the house?
We're no longer married, just go away.
I left the house heartbroken. I had been married for only 2 years. All of that went away. After 3 years, I was in love with another man. I decided to take a chance on relationships again. I met Jonathan at the grocery store. We hit the ground running. We talked about different dishes and exchanged numbers so that we could share recipes. He's such a good man. He helped me gain confidence when I thought I was not worth it. Babe, I know that you're scared of fully trusting someone with your heart, but I'm not like him. I love you so much and my family adores you. Oh, Jonathan, do you really want to marry a divorced woman? I'm happy you left him. This is how I found you. Babe, I'll treat you and our child so well. Please trust me. I cried as I hugged him. Jonathan kissed me on the forehead and held my hands. He whispered sweet words to me and my heart was flattered. You are precious to me. I love you, Mabel, so please accept this ring. It is now the third time. Jonathan had been proposing to me, but I kept declining. I was scared of getting married again. I closed my eyes and reminded myself that we loved each other and that I trusted him. I said yes to his marriage proposal this time. He was so happy and so was I. After 1 year of marriage to Jonathan, I gave birth to twins 3 months later. Once again, I reminded myself of how lucky I was to find Jonathan. He was so supportive. One day, I walked into a restaurant with my twins, a girl and a boy. They were sleeping peacefully in my stroller. I locked eyes with someone I didn't think I would ever see again, Noah. He was sitting alone taking coffee. I heard he married the woman his mother introduced him to a month after I left. At that time, the news really crushed me. Jonathan walked in and pushed the chair over for me to sit down. He noticed my expression and asked me what was wrong. I told him I saw my ex-husband. Should we go? No, we just got here. I saw Noah coming to our table. I wondered what he wanted. Mabel, I'm sorry. I was wrong, and I always regret divorcing you. Please don't disturb my fiancé. Mabel, are they your children? Noah was surprised that I had a fiancé and even children of my own. I rolled my eyes at Noah. I couldn't understand what his problem was. As you can see, they look like Jonathan and I. Good, now scrum. How I wish I could have mine. Sarah, the lady I married, got pregnant, but the child is not mine. I'm infertile. All along, my family and I called you names, but you were innocent. I'm not happy with her at all. Noah told me this while crying. I always knew Noah was infertile, but I shouldered all the accusations because I wanted him to maintain his dignity. I looked at him pitifully. I told him that I would never go back to him, that Jonathan made me happy, and I wished him happiness too. I never thought you would move on so quickly. I thought you loved me. I have never found another woman like you, Mabel. Mabel is not alone anymore. Now please excuse us. Jonathan didn't want our children and I to sit at the same table with Noah anymore. I love how Jonathan makes me feel. With him, I gained back my confidence. I feel safe and protected whenever I am with him. I now know my worth and I love him. The next day, I went to the mall. I kept feeling that I was being followed, and yes, I really was being stalked. Hey, Mabel, give me a chance. I swear I'm a changed man. I'll divorce Sarah. You can come with your children too. I won't mind. Noah, I'm married and love my husband very much. Please leave me alone. You really don't love me anymore? I don't love you. I'm happily married with 2 children. Noah shouted and screamed at me, telling me that I was not allowed to be happy if I was not with him. He kept on getting close to me and I started panicking. He kicked the dustbin and grabbed my hand. He pulled me hard and I almost fell. Thank God I left my kids at home. I've got you now. You're going home with me. Security guards rushed in and saved me from him. Noah was arrested and charged with assault. He had to pay a fine. I can't imagine I once loved that man, a master manipulator. We moved houses. Jonathan kept beating himself up for not being there to protect me. I told him that I was safe and he shouldn't let that eat him up. After that incident with Noah, I heard from his parents. This was the first time I heard from them since my divorce with their son. Noah's mom and dad couldn't believe that I got married and already had 2 children. They now realized that their son was the problem. They begged for forgiveness, and I forgave them. Carrying a grudge is such a heavy burden. I cared less about them. I have a bright future ahead of me. I love my husband Jonathan and our children. I heard Noah fall out with his parents. He was also laid off from his job because he showed aggressive behavior and drank a lot. They sold their house and had to move to a cheaper place. I was given another chance to love and be loved. I will not waste it. I love you, Jonathan. Thank you for being there for me. I will always love you, Mabel.